We made it to Cordoba. We went using the Renfe train. It was a very comfortable 30-minute train ride, and now we're on our way to the mosque cathedral of Cordoba. The area near the train station in Cordoba seems a lot more modern and well developed compared to Seville, but now as we're walking towards the mosque, it's getting more old-fashioned. We are traveling to Cordoba on a Sunday morning, so right now there's barely anybody around. On the train, there was also pretty much nobody on the train. We only spent about an hour at the mosque cathedral of Cordoba. The mosque structures themselves are pretty repetitive, and the cathedral is very beautiful, but there's really not that much to see compared to the cathedral of Seville. We don't really have any strong feelings about the mosque cathedral of Cordoba. I mean, it's definitely a must visit, but if you skip it, it's not that big of a deal, especially if you've gone to the cathedral of Seville. We got hungry, so had a little breakfast at Moja El Churros. The churros we wanted the small ones, but I guess churros here means the big porras, I guess, the porras or the bigger type of churros. She did give us one free little churro, and the little churro was very delicious. The bigger churros were also delicious, but maybe not as good as the fresh ones we had yesterday at Bar El Comercio in Seville. So we would highly recommend checking out this churros place if you are near the cathedral in Cordoba. The highlight of Cordoba for us so far is just walking around the city in these cute little alleys and seeing all the beautiful windows and decorations that the people put out in front of the houses. The bell tower located in the cathedral courtyard only costs €3 to go up. They are very strict with the timing of the time slots, so make sure you're on time, and they only give you about 10 minutes on top of the bell tower before they kick you back down, but the view is spectacular and totally worth the price. It costs about €650 per person to see about 5 patios in Cordoba, but it's definitely worth it if you want to take pictures because the patios are very picturesque. The patios are only open a limited time of the day. Usually they close from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So make sure you check it out before you go. For lunch in Cordoba, we went to Bodegas Mezquita, which is a chain restaurant in the area. There's like 4 of them in Cordoba alone. And we tried some of the more traditional cuisines of the area, which included the oxtail stew and also the fried ham meat roll. And both of those dishes, along with the regular calamari squid dish that we got, all 3 of them were very good, especially the calamari had a very good squid flavor. But overall, we very much enjoyed the lunch we had there. It's a very popular restaurant, so it's better to get a reservation if you can do it. I guess this is a good time to talk about the drinks that we've had so far on our trip to Spain. We don't normally drink alcohol, but on this trip we tried vermouth, tinto de rano, and also the vino naranja, which is the orange wine at the Bodega Santa Cruz. So of all those drinks, the wines and also the vermouth are kind of too strong for us. The tinto de verano is perfect for eating with food, especially seafood, and we pretty much have to have it every time we eat fried food here. We've run into quite a few cats so far in Spain, but we've yet to been able to pet any of them. If you can't tell already, we are really loving our trip to Spain so far. We enjoy a lot more than any of the times that we've spent in Italy, although, you know, when we go to Rome, for example, Rome is such a historic and beautiful city. But in terms of the overall like comfort and experience and the friendliness of the people here, we find that it's quite a better experience than anywhere else that we've had in Europe. So we think that, if you're considering going to Europe, going to Spain is probably one of the top choices for anybody trying to visit Europe and trying to experience what it's like to be in Europe and live in Europe. We've pretty much exhausted all of our agenda for Cordoba so far. So right now we're walking to the Cordoba Zoo to see if we are enticed to go inside. Our experience so far in Cordoba is quite different than our experience in Seville. Cordoba today, there was a half marathon, so it was crowded for that. But otherwise, when walking around Cordoba, there's very few people. It's not crowded at all, and it's very walkable. The Cordoba Zoo is definitely a visit if you don't really have anything to do, because it's only €6 to get in, and there's a beautiful display of lions. We definitely had a whole lot of fun at the Cordoba Zoo. Okay, let's try that again. We experienced a lot of fun and funny animal behaviors at the Cordoba Zoo, and you can get actually pretty close to some of the animals, and the tigers that we saw were very active and very energetic. So usually when we see tigers at some other zoos, they're just sleeping, but these tigers were walking around a lot, so we got to get some good pictures of them. So overall, we really loved the zoo. It was only like €550 per person, which is cheaper than the patios. So now we're gonna be headed towards our dinner. We're not really sure what we're gonna eat, but we'll find something in the city. Our dinner in Cordoba was at Esquinita de la Juderia, and we got the lamb chop combo with the fried peppers, and the meal was pretty bland. It wasn't that good. It was edible and it was cheap, but in terms of the food, it was not really memorable at all. So we probably could have passed on that meal, but we've walked a lot today, so we really needed the calories to re-energize ourselves. Right now we're just walking around the city waiting for our train at 7:20. So we're gonna just hang out, and tomorrow we're gonna be back in Seville. One of the main things we've noticed about Spanish cuisine so far is that it's not salty pretty much at all usually. The only salty thing that we ate during this trip so far was the paella, which was from the bar tapas place in the Triana market, but otherwise everything else was very not salty, which is what we like. We've spent pretty much all day since 8:30 in the morning walking around Cordoba, and we still feel like there's still some more things to see. Mostly just walking around the city is enough to fill most of your day, and we spent about 2 or 3 hours at the zoo, and we enjoyed every minute of it. So Cordoba is definitely a place that you can do a day trip to and enjoy the whole day at.